is money. Time is precious. Make the most of it. Hello, my name is Rana Nejem, and I'm author of When in the Arab World, an insider's guide to living and working with Arab culture. Time is money. This is a belief that is ingrained in the cultures of countries like the UK, Germany, Canada, Australia, and the US. For those cultures, time set aside for an activity that doesn't happen is time wasted that can never be reclaimed or recovered. People from a schedule-oriented culture measure success or achievement by the number of meetings completed in a day and whether or not everything went as scheduled and all meetings finished at the exact time allotted. Last-minute changes and ad hoc events would mess up their entire schedule and can cause a fair degree of stress. Time-oriented people have their diaries planned weeks and even months in advance, with very little room for flexibility. On the other hand, if you were from the people-oriented cultures of the Arab world, South America and the Mediterranean, then your approach to time would be much more flexible. And achievement might be measured by how effectively you were able to handle last-minute cancellations and changes, all the while giving priority to people in your situation or setting. In this culture, a schedule may serve as a general guideline and is often replaced with a list of people that one needs to see and things that need to be done. For a time-oriented person, this may appear chaotic, inefficient, and frustrating, while the planning style of the time-oriented person may appear to be too cold and rigid to someone from a people-oriented culture. Take, for example, the Arab minister or senior official who walks out of his office to find a waiting room full of people who want to see him for a variety of issues. As he leaves to get to his next meeting in another location, he spends roughly 20 minutes going around the room, answering questions, signing documents, resolving problems, or giving instructions to his staff to follow up on more complex issues. Within a short span of time, the official is able to respond to the needs of several people all at once. You might hear him say, "If you value people, you must hear them out. You cannot cut them off simply because of a schedule, even if it means being a few minutes late to the next appointment." Here, the schedule becomes secondary. Everyone's happy. If you have had the experience of walking into a shop or marketplace in the Arab world, then you must have found yourself surrounded by other customers, all competing for the attention of the salesperson who's trying to cater to everyone all at once. There is no queue or numbers to indicate who has been waiting the longest. But somehow, surprisingly, things move along at a reasonably quick pace and everyone is happy. I remember going into a shop in the US. I had a very quick question for the salesperson, but he was occupied with another customer. Now, the customer was taking his sweet time asking questions and chatting with the salesperson, who was giving the customer his full, undivided attention. I stood there for at least 10 minutes. And the salesperson quickly just glanced at me to acknowledge my presence and continued to give his full attention to the customer he was dealing with. Now, coming from the many things at once culture of the Arab world, I started to get antsy and frustrated. I only wanted to ask if they sold that particular item, and then of course I would have waited for my turn. But I felt I wasted time waiting to just get a simple yes or no answer. There is no right or wrong, just different. Different approaches, different perspectives, and different ways of organizing time. One approach is events scheduled as separate items, one thing at a time, and the other is several things at once. Each system has a different logic. Each system has its strengths and weaknesses. And like oil and water, they don't mix. If you want to learn more, make sure you pick up a copy of the book, which is available on Amazon and in audio version. And check out all the other videos on the YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Thank you. Salam.